Why is it that some people can lose millions and still bounce back richer, while others can't even survive one missed paycheck? Well, here's the ugly truth. The rich aren't just playing the money game better. They're playing a different game entirely. And the rules they follow? They're nothing like the ones you've been told. In today's video, you'll know exactly how the rich stay rich forever. And more importantly, how you can start applying these same rules, even if your bank account is currently on life support. So let's not waste time on this one, because rule number 1 is the exact reason the rich multiply their wealth while everyone else slowly bleeds theirs away. Rule number 1, the rich don't play defense. They play offense with money. All right, I gotta be honest. Most people treat money like a fragile vase. Hold on to it, don't drop it, don't spend it, protect it. Well, guess what? The rich, they treat money like a soldier. Send it out into the world, make it work, and bring back reinforcements. Basically, here's the difference. Average people save to feel safe. The rich invest to grow stronger. Yup. Think about it like this. If you put $10,000 in a savings account at today's rates, you might earn, what, $200 in interest after a year. Meanwhile, inflation just ate $600 of your money's value. That's not saving. That's slow financial decay. The rich know this, so they don't park their cash, they deploy it. Real estate, stocks, private equity, even boring businesses like laundromats or car washes. Why? Because those things print cash flow while they sleep. Just look at a guy like Warren Buffett. He didn't become a billionaire clipping coupons. He became a billionaire because every dollar he earned was immediately told, go find me 10 more friends. And that leads to the second rule. Because once you've got your money working for you, you've got to make sure it doesn't get stolen from you quietly. And trust me, this is where most people lose without even realizing it. Rule number 2, the rich avoid the silent killer. Lifestyle creep. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You ever get a raise, feel good for 10 minutes, and then magically, your bank account still feels the same at the end of the month? That's lifestyle creep, and it's a financial assassin. Middle-class thinking says, I make more, I deserve more. Bigger house, nicer car, fancier vacations. Rich thinking says, I make more, I invest more. My lifestyle stays flat while my net worth climbs. And here's what you need to know. The rich don't stunt their success with flashy spending. In fact, the wealthiest people you'll ever meet probably look boring. Mark Zuckerberg in the same gray t-shirt, Warren Buffett in his 30-year-old house, millionaire next door driving a used Toyota. And trust me, it's not because they're cheap. It's because they know the real flex isn't a Gucci belt. It's financial freedom so powerful that you never have to work for anyone again. I've mentioned this guy before, but I like to think of the story of Ronald Redd, a janitor in Vermont who died with $8 million. How? He avoided lifestyle creep, invested consistently, and nobody even knew he was rich. But here's the twist. It's not just about what the rich avoid, it's also about the systems they set up that practically guarantee they'll never go broke, even if they tried. And that's rule number 3. Rule number 3, the rich build money moats. Ever played a video game where your base keeps getting attacked, so you build walls, turrets, traps, anything to keep invaders out? That's exactly how the rich treat their wealth. They don't just grow it, they protect it. Middle-class folks, they leave their castle wide open. One hospital bill, one lawsuit, one market crash, and boom, years of progress gone. The rich, they've got moats, layers of protection, insurance. Not the cheap policy kind, but serious coverage for health, property, liability. Trusts and LLCs to protect assets from lawsuits. Diversification, so one bad investment doesn't tank the whole ship. I mean, did you know Walt Disney almost lost everything when the original Disneyland went $17 million over budget? How'd he protect himself? He created multiple companies and split assets, so if one failed, the others survived. That's a moat. Here's the mindset shift. The rich don't ask, what if things go right? They ask, what if things go horribly wrong? And plan for that. By the way, if you're still struggling with your finances, don't stress. Go back and watch our financial freedom playlist to help you go from broke and middle class to financially untouchable. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But anyways, when we talk about moats, it only matters if your castle is strong. And what builds the strongest castles? Not money itself, but cash flow. Rule number 4, the rich worship cash flow, not net worth. Look, I need you to understand this clearly. Net worth is just a number on paper. Cash flow is what actually pays your bills. You could own a $3 million house, but if you lose your job, guess what? You're house rich and cash poor. The bank doesn't take net worth as mortgage payments. They want money flowing in. And if you've been watching any of our recent videos, you know the rich stay rich because their assets spin off consistent streams of income. Real estate rentals, dividend-paying stocks, businesses that run without them. Average people chase salary raises and brag about their net worth. Rich people brag about how much money hits their account every month without them lifting a finger. Now this guy always comes to mind. Look at a man like Shaquille O'Neal. Sure, he made hundreds of millions in the NBA playing basketball, but what really keeps him wealthy forever? His dozens of businesses and investments, 24-hour gyms, car washes, restaurants, tech startups that spin off steady cash. Cash flow means freedom. It means bills paid, vacations funded, stress gone, even if the stock market crashes tomorrow. And here's the catch. Cash flow doesn't magically appear. You need a system that multiplies itself over time. And that's where rule number 5 comes in. Rule number 5, the rich use the compound effect like it's a cheat code. Now look, here's something schools never hammered into your head enough. Compound interest is the closest thing to magic we have in finance. Think of compound interest like a snowball rolling down a mountain. At first, it's small, you barely notice, but the further it rolls, the bigger it gets, until it's unstoppable. The rich take advantage of this in every way. Investing early, they don't wait until their 40s to start. They get money working ASAP, reinvesting profits. Instead of cashing out early, they let money make money on top of money. Patience. They understand the first 10 years feel slow, but years 20 to 30 are when it explodes. Now let's break this down together so you can fully understand. If you invest just $500 a month at 10% returns, in 40 years you'd have over $2.6 million. That's not luck, that's math. And the rich never stop rolling that snowball. Oh, and here's the funny part. Most people kill their snowball before it even gets big, pulling out money too early, chasing get-rich-quick schemes, or stopping altogether when things get tough. The rich, they just keep rolling. But compounding only works if you don't sabotage yourself. And the next rule? It's the sneaky way the rich keep growing while everyone else is unknowingly leaking money out of their pockets. Rule number 6, the rich treat money like a game of leverage. Here's what the middle class says. Debt is bad. Avoid it at all costs. Here's what the rich say. Debt is a power tool. Use it wisely and it builds empires. See, most people use debt to buy liabilities. Cars, gadgets, vacations. That's financial quicksand. The rich? They use debt to buy assets that cash flow. Think of it like a video game. Average players pick up debt like useless items weighing them down. The pros only collect weapons that help them level up faster. I mean, let's just be real. Real estate investors don't buy 100 homes with cash. They use other people's money, banks, investors, to scale. Robert Kiyosaki famously calls it good debt. It's how the rich expand faster than inflation can eat at them. The key isn't avoiding debt, it's avoiding stupid debt. Credit card for a new TV? Stupid. Loan for a rental property that pays for itself? Smart. But leverage isn't just about money. The rich also leverage something even more powerful. Time. And that brings us to rule number 7. Rule number 7. The rich buy time, not things. Now pay attention because I feel like this is common sense, but a lot of you can't seem to understand this concept. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And that's exactly why the rich value time above everything else. Middle class thinking says, I'll save money by doing everything myself. Rich thinking says, I'll save my life by delegating everything that doesn't move me forward. It's not about being lazy, it's about being efficient. Think about it. If you make $30 an hour and spend 5 hours fixing your own car, you saved $200. But you lost 5 hours you could have spent learning a skill, building a side hustle, or just recharging so you don't burn out. Meanwhile, the mechanic, who's better and faster, would have done it for the same money you saved. Here's an example. Elon Musk doesn't schedule his own dentist appointments. Oprah doesn't fold her own laundry. Even everyday millionaires outsource things like yard work or bookkeeping, not because they can't do it, but because their time is too expensive to waste. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be a millionaire to buy time. ordering groceries online instead of spending 3 hours at the store, paying someone to mow your lawn so you can spend Saturday building your online business, using software to automate bills, emails, or budgeting instead of manually stressing over them. The rich understand that time compounds just like money. Every hour they reclaim today pays dividends in focus, creativity, and opportunity tomorrow. And once you start thinking this way, time as your most valuable asset, you'll naturally begin shifting into the next mindset of the rich. They don't just plan for themselves, they plan for generations. Rule number 8, the rich think in generations, not paychecks. Now, this is a reality check for some of you watching right now. Here's the difference between the middle class and the wealthy. The middle class is worried about this month's bills. The rich are worried about this century's legacy. It's not just about stacking money for themselves, it's about planting trees whose shade their grandchildren will sit under. Most families pass down debts, credit card balances, mortgages, stress. Rich families pass down assets and playbooks, businesses, real estate, trusts, and the mindset to protect it all. Now let's take a trip back in history for a minute. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Waltons, Walmart heirs, didn't just pass down money, they passed down structures, family trusts, foundations, and boards that make sure wealth doesn't vanish just because one heir decides they deserve 12 Lamborghinis. Even on a smaller scale, plenty of self-made millionaires do this. Ronald Redd, the janitor who quietly died with $8 million, didn't just leave money to his family. He left a strategy: invest consistently, avoid flashy living, and let time do the heavy lifting. Seriously, generational wealth isn't about spoiling kids. It's about giving them a launch pad. Imagine if instead of student loans, you inherited dividend stocks. Instead of a car payment, you got a paid-off duplex. That's how the cycle breaks. The rich ask, how can my money outlive me? Everyone else asks, how do I stretch my paycheck until Friday? And once you start thinking beyond yourself, you realize there's one more critical piece. Even the best plan falls apart if emotions run the show, which is why rule number 9 separates the wealthy from the wannabes. Rule number 9, the rich master emotional control over money. All right, now listen closely, because here's the part nobody tells you. Getting rich is mostly math, but staying rich is mostly psychology. The average person makes money decisions based on fear and greed. Market dips, they panic sell. Prices rise, they don't want to miss out. See a flashy trend? They throw cash at it, hoping to get in early. The rich don't play that game. They understand that emotions are the biggest wealth killers, so they build systems to protect themselves from themselves. Here's a real-world example. During the 2008 financial crisis, most people sold off stocks at massive losses. But Buffett? He was buying. Not because he had a crystal ball, because he had discipline when everyone else had panic. Wealthy people use rules, not feelings. Never invest in what you don't understand. Stick to the plan no matter the market noise. Be greedy when others are fearful. Emotional control is what stops you from burning your snowball of compound interest. But emotional control alone won't cut it. Because there's one final rule, the glue that holds every other wealth principle together. And without it, even billionaires can lose everything. Rule number 10, the rich build networks, not just net worth. Here's something nobody puts on a financial statement. Your net worth can disappear, but your network will rebuild it. That's why the rich obsess over relationships. They know money follows people, not the other way around. Middle class mindset, I just need to make more money. Rich mindset, I need to know the right people because they'll bring me more opportunities than money alone ever could. Think about it. Every big move you've ever seen the wealthy make usually comes from a conversation in the right room. The startup founder who raises millions at a dinner party. The investor who gets in early on the next Apple or Tesla. Not because they're smarter, but because they knew someone on the inside. The millionaire who loses everything, but rebounds within a year because their network opens doors others can't even see. Look at Mark Cuban. Before the Dallas Mavericks and Shark Tank fame, he sold his company for billions, not just because he built a good business, but because he had the connections to pitch and sell at the highest level. His wealth didn't come from being in a cubicle grinding longer. It came from being in the right room with the right people. Here's the kicker. You don't need to be rich to build a powerful network. You can start by showing up where ambitious people hang out. Meetups, industry events, even online communities. Offer value first. Share resources, make introductions, give insights. Don't just ask, what can I get? Ask, what can I give? Over time, those small deposits of value turn into massive opportunities you could never buy. Because here's the truth, money can buy you a car, but your network can buy you freedom. And unlike material stuff, networks compound. Every strong connection introduces you to 3 more. Every mastermind, mentorship, or circle of winners you join multiplies your chances of being in the right place at the right time. The rich know that wealth is rarely built alone. And staying rich, that's impossible without people who keep you sharp, informed, and plugged into opportunities. And that's the final piece of the puzzle. Because when you combine systems, discipline, cash flow, and compounding with powerful networks, you don't just build wealth, you build a fortress that lasts forever. Bottom line, here's the truth. You don't need millions to start playing by these rules. You can start with whatever you've got today. Deploy your dollars. Avoid lifestyle creep. Focus on cash flow. And for the love of your future self, stop treating money like something you protect and start treating it like a soldier that works for you. Because here's the reality. The rich aren't playing harder than you. They're just playing smarter. And now you've got their playbook. Comment the words, "I will be rich," if you're serious about building generational wealth. But don't stop here. Because if you want to know the psychological tricks rich people use every day to stay ahead of everyone else, you need to check out my video right here. That one takes you deeper into the hidden habits of millionaires that nobody talks about. Just click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.